Well, this is a bit of an impromptu video. I hadn't planned on doing one, but there has been something on my mind. It's been nagging at me the whole Christmas, and that is my cuttings. I know some of them need to be transplanted, and I have some that are in tiny little pots, and I thought I've got to get these guys into bigger pots so that they can become more established. So I thought, let's do a video. As I say, it's impromptu, but I hope you enjoy it. Hi guys, my name is Grania and this is my channel, Jungle Flowers Canada. Thank you so much for joining me. So for today, we're going to take a look at cuttings that I took probably a couple of months ago. I'm not actually sure when I took these cuttings, but I can see that they have roots, and I'm probably maybe too far away from you, but hopefully you'll be able to see that there are some nice roots growing on these plants. So I also have to do a little bit of investigation because I took some cuttings of my Philodendron and my what's it called, finlaysonia. Casper is destroying my plants. My front window, he's knocked over my syngoniums, and there's soil on the ground, and I now need to tackle that as well. But anyway, let's get back to our task at hand, and I'm going to have a sip of my tea first. Let's try and identify. This is my finlaysonia, very beautiful, and this is my Philodendron, also very beautiful. And these are my cuttings. So now I have to match. So actually it's easier than I thought. This here is a cutting of my finlaysonia. I didn't think it would be this easy. And she has rooted nicely. And this is definitely a Philodendron. Did I show you that one already? Here. This is the cutting of the Philodendron. And this one's a little harder to identify, but I think Philodendron. I did get some pots for Christmas from my kids. I actually made a wish list on Amazon, but I think they're all going to be too big. Let's go to this size. These are my homemade self-watering pots. If you haven't seen them before, I will put a link in the description. Oops. I just bought these pots on Amazon, and then these are just soup container pots. So you can see they work great because I can see when I need to water. So what we need, I use some window mesh. Probably can't get that in Ireland and the UK because we don't have mesh in our windows, but you should be able to get something. I have macrame cord and a scissors. So I'm putting them in pon. I am a big lover of pon. I do make my own pon. I will put a link for it in the description. Let's get some wicking cord. I went to Crystal Star Nurseries with Paula. They had a sale on, and I did buy some of their trellises. Kevin, my lovely Kevin from Hakuna La Planta, uses their trellises, and I thought I would give them a shot. So maybe we'll put a trellis in here today. So I just put some macrame cord in, my mesh, and then I'm just going to fill it up with pon. So these are the Crystal Star Nursery trellises that I bought. I can't remember how much they were. I just got one pack to try them. So I'm just going to put my pot into my soup container. Probably can't really see what I'm doing, so I should. Okay. And I'm actually going to stick the trellis. Let me show you what I'm going to do. Do you see the way I stuck it on the outside to give it a bit more stability? I'll bring my pot over. So I'm just going to scoop it. Okay, so I scooped some pon into the bottom. Now let's take the main plant and we shall pour it in here. I think actually, there's two cuttings of it in here. Now look, the roots are not huge, and I've had this for quite a long time. they like they look fine. They're white and they look fine, but it possibly has struggled a bit with root rot, I would think, by what I'm seeing here. So it's a good job that I did take these cuttings. So here's the first cutting, and let's pop her out. Now look, the cutting actually has better roots than the original plant. I'll try, hopefully this, it's focusing on my face, of course, but I will zoom in and show you these roots if it's clear enough. Okay, so that is one, and this one has, so the two cuttings have actually got better roots than the mother plant. So I think the mother plant might have been struggling a bit. As she grows, I will attach her to this trellis, and hopefully we will get a beautiful full plant. And now I'll just top her up with some more pon. This pon, I just started it when I did the cuttings, so it's fine to reuse. And then I will water this with my nutrient solution. So there, hopefully I will have a nice pot of Hoya vitellinoides. So the second plant is my finlaysonia. I'm going to check the roots on this and see if I can put the cutting in with this. So I'm just going to actually empty it here on my tray. So let's have a look and see what the roots are like on this one. Okay, so she has nice roots, but it's not root bound. So let's take a look at the roots of the cutting, and they're looking pretty similar. I'm going to see how they fit. If I put them both in here, will they both fit? You know what, I think they're going to be okay for a little bit. So I'm going to put the two of them back in here. I'm also short of space, so I don't want to use bigger pots if I don't need to, because these plants just adore my IKEA cabinets, and my IKEA cabinets are very full. So I think for now we're just going to put them back in there, and then the next time round I will up pot them. Let's top this baby up. Make sure all the roots are covered. It's a dull day today. It is the 30th, I believe. Yeah, it's the 30th of December. We had a lovely Christmas, and the kids all stayed over Christmas Eve. So again, we got to share in the excitement of Santa coming. And my grandson was like a delight as usual, and we had a wonderful Christmas Eve. So there we have my finlaysonia. I potted up with this cutting. This plant never disappoints. It's really, really beautiful. So if you watch my video where I got plants from Tony from Quirky Lemon, they are all doing just wonderfully. There's new leaves growing here, but they're still in these tiny little pots, and I want to now move them up to this size because it's hard to keep these watered. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to do that. So let's put some pon into this container and let's move this. So she's putting out 3 brand new leaves. So this is the, did I say Hoya Russell? So I'd imagine, yeah, she has rooted. And on the bottom of this is that stratum that Tony gave me a sample of. And there's pon on the top, and it seems to really like it. So now time to transition it into a bigger pot so that it won't dry out. I do have to keep a close eye on them when they're in those small pots because they do dry out very, very quickly. There we have the Hoya Russell. Another one down. And this here is the Hoya SPUT033. And yeah, she has started on a new growth point, so let's get her into a bigger pot, and she is in just the stratum. So let's pull her out and see. Yes, she has some lovely roots. So I'm going to obviously keep the stratum, and then I'll just top it up with my pon. They do also, as they get heavier, I found that some of them were tipping over. So I think they're great to get you going, but I think you're better moving them into bigger pots once they get a little bit established. Oh, a fun game. So I've asked Paula to come do a video with me. So you know she gives me so many cuttings, and the problem is I never take note of what they are, and then I can never remember what they are. So we're going to do a video together, and she's going to identify all the plants that she's given me. And we're going to make labels and put them in the plants, so I finally know what I'm working with. So that will be sometime in the new year, so I'm sure you'll all be so excited to meet her. She has been a huge contributor to my plant collection, and I would be so honoured for her to join me in one of my videos. So don't forget to watch out for that, guys, and you'll get to meet the famous Paula. This is the David Camungii. That again, Tony gave me. We will actually have to, when Tony comes next time, I will actually do a video with her as well. I love collabs, they are so much fun, and if you didn't watch our most recent collab, so Roos from, I think it's Yoga and Roos, I'll put the name of her channel here. She set up a collab just between Christmas and New Year, and I was so honoured because I was among, as I said in the video, among giants. There were, like, I know I'll forget some, but Fern was there, Not Dude, Adam was there, Miro from Bazzy Plants, Betsy from Betsy Begonia, obviously Rose, I shouldn't forget her, she was the most important person, she organised this. I'm just trying to think, oh my god, there were so many amazing YouTubers in there. So I will put a link to it below, and it was very enjoyable. I think collabs are so much fun, and it's a great way for us to support each other's channels. I think I would like to do some more collabs in the future. If you think that's something you'd like, let me know in the comments. So let's take a look at this baby. And yeah, not as many roots, but still enough. And like I say, I just really want to give them some more stability. So David Camungii. Here we have, I believe this is Hoya Tequila Sunrise, and I don't think I've ever shown it to you before. I purchased this from a girl, Jennifer, who sells locally, and she has beautiful plants. So I'm going to put some pon in there, and let's see if this baby has given me some roots. I've had it for quite a while. So let's see what's going on. Okay, so not amazing roots. But let's put her, should I not move her? But I won't move her. I'm very indecisive, aren't I? I'm actually going to put her back in here until she gets a little bit more. And what I think I'll do is, I have her in my original cabinet, which is, you would think would get the most attention. It's in my family room, but it's kind of behind my husband's chair. And I always forget to water it. So what I think I will do with this is I will put it into my Fabricor cabinet, which actually gets they get the most attention. And this, the reason that this hasn't rooted that much is possibly due to the fact that I let it dry out too much. So let's start this again. I have here my Hoya Grey Ghost. She is absolutely gorgeous, guys. Look at her. Her leaves are stunning. And this is the cutting that I took of her. I absolutely adore these silver plants. Let's see what is going on here. First of all, let's check the roots on the Grey Ghost, on the mama, and see, do we need to move her up in size? So I'm just going to empty her out actually here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, yeah, so she has a really good root base. So I think we will pot her up into the next size. Tonight I'm going to babysit my grandsons. My daughter and her husband are heading into Toronto to watch a show. So I have to head over there soon and get to hang out with the babies, which is always fun. They were actually here this morning as well, so cute. So once I finish this, that's where I'm heading. And then tomorrow night is New Year's Eve, and we're going to spend the evening with our families in Caledon. So we have a busy, busy schedule. Now, like I say, I don't always like to up pot, so I don't do it if I don't have to, simply because of space. Space is probably an issue for most of us. So the cutting has lovely roots, so let's pop that in there. And hopefully this will grow into a bigger plant. I noticed she grew like crazy when I got her, which was in the summer, and I noticed the growth has definitely slowed down now that winter is here. So even though the plants are actually still receiving the same conditions all year round, this just took off like wildfire when I got it, and now it's, it definitely hasn't put out as many leaves as it put out when I first got it. So we shall wait until the spring and see what happens again. So there we have my Hoya Grey Ghost. Oh guys, look what I got for Christmas. I got come focus on it, I got a Philodendron strawberry shake. Now, it doesn't compare, of course, to Kevin's specimens from Cocoon de Planta, but I'm delighted to get it. I toyed with the idea. I wasn't 100% sure I wanted one because I'm not the biggest Philodendron fan. Like, I do like them. I love my Flower de Beauty. I love my Glorious, but I am a number one Hoya fan. But when I saw this on Marketplace for Christmas, and my kids were like, what do you want for Christmas, Mom? And I really don't want anything. When you get to my age, guys, you really don't need anything. All my kids are gone. It's only my husband and I at home. And I thought, you know what? I'll get the strawberry shake. And I'm really excited that I got it. And you can see it's in just a little bit of substrate here. It looks kind of like, like it's not even, look at the root. It's a terrible root actually on it. So, they're good though. And there is a growth point there. Can you see the little tiny growth point there? So let's pop her up into a bigger pot. I may eventually grow this in leca. I've tried leca now for a couple of my plants, and I didn't like leca at the beginning, but I think I just might try it again. But let's start her off in pond, and then we can move up to leca at a later date. I can use these new beautiful pots that I got for Christmas from my kids. Okay, so let's pop her in here. Yeah, there's definitely a new growth point coming there. So we'll maybe try and angle that up a little bit. Let's bring her up. So you can see it's not a top cutting, it's a mid cutting. But let's try and give her a little bit more stability than she had in that pot. And I'll just ever so slightly try and expose that growth point. So there we have my Philodendron strawberry shake. That's exciting, isn't it? So I have two more here, and I can't think of the name of this. This will be one for Paula to identify. And this is the Hoya Matilde Splash. So I have a Hoya Matilde that I haven't had the greatest relationship with. My regular Hoya Matilde, it originally came to me in Pon. I must have it, I think it might have been the very first plant I bought off Paula. So it's definitely over 2 years, and it has struggled. It's doing amazingly now, but it did struggle for me. It wasn't the greatest buddy of mine, let's put it that way. But then Paula did give me this cutting of the Matilde Splash. I have so many more in there in little pots like this that I do need to up pot. But actually I'm looking at this one now, and I think I'm going to leave this one. It does have roots, you can see, hopefully, tiny little roots, but I actually think it's okay. I took it out. My plan was to put it into a bigger pot, but it's actually, I think it's still okay. And this one here is still okay. I can't remember what this one is called, but it's so cute. It's kind of, it's fuzzy, and it has a dark margin on it. And like I say, we will do a video with Paula, and she will identify all of these for us. Okay, so there is one more that I was thinking of potting up, but I think I might leave her too. Oh gosh, I can't think of the name of this. I imported this. I will put the name on the screen. And I do have the mother plant in my Fabricor cabinet. It's a very slow grower, but it's one that I'm really excited about. I did get this beautiful piece put in my kitchen, and I think I might have put it on Instagram. Basically it is a spool wheel, and my husband attached it to the ceiling, and my plan is that I will grow plants down it. And this is one that I would really like to grow down. It hasn't put out any new leaves, and I do see roots on this, but they're not huge. So I think I may leave this one for now. And maybe in the spring I'll pot it up again, and I'll put it into like a proper self-watering pot, because when they're above me I like them to be in the self-watering pots with the gauges, so I can see when they need to be watered. So I will show you that beautiful piece soon. So I think that's pretty much everything, guys. So I hope this is something that you enjoy. Let me know in the comments if you like this type of video. There's always so many chores to do that they're the easiest video really to motivate you to film, because first of all, you need to do chores but you don't really want to do them. You want to do a video but you don't know what to do the video on. So it actually is a win-win scenario because you've got things to do and it gives you an opportunity to film. So let me know in the comments if this is something you enjoy. I do have to continue my house tour. I know I've done my dining room and I will do my other rooms too, maybe next week when everything settles back down. So I just want to thank you all so much for joining me. If you watched the video till the end, don't forget to put the green heart emoji in the comments, and thank you so much for giving me time out of your busy day. Take care and Happy New Year to you all.